This is TWiT.
I'm holding in my hand. Now, I noticed, Mary Jo, you got the blue suede version of the Surface Go.
Alcantara. I went all out this time.
I got the Cordoba.
Did you guys both get the upper level version, or Mary Jo, did you get the lower end version?
No, I got the upper end version also.
Yeah.
I am really curious to see comparison of the two. You know?
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody review the lower end one, I don't think.
It's really that predictably irrational thing that I don't know, there's a name for it.
That's right. Yep.
Where you
offer one that's a piece of junk, but then for $50, $100 more, you have the real one.
And everybody goes, I love the low price, but I can afford a little more to get the little bit better.
Yep.
And nobody buys that low price one. Obviously, Microsoft doesn't expect anybody to buy it.
Maybe schools or, like people who buy it in bulk, maybe.
Yeah, it'd be fine for a school.
It's so not future-proof. I just don't understand.
No, it's they're talking about it for like K through 12, but emphasis on the lower end, K through like third grade or whatever.
So
I don't even think it's future-proof.
Leo, did you have this before you went on your trip?
I did not. I got it on Friday.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah. But I did get it in time to decide what I'm going to bring with me to Europe, because it'd be kind of. I mean, it's really between this and the iPad Pro. I'm going to bring a 15-inch laptop just because.
Leo, these things are so small. You could bring both.
I could bring both. It's the same as an iPad, basically. Yeah. And I really like it. I'll let Mary Jo really do the professional review, but as an end user, the only negative is the size of the bezels, I think. I wish this could be so cool if they'd gone closer to the edge.
In other words, they could have been an 11, almost 12-inch something
Same
if they had
size device, but just there's a lot of.
I would have a problem
frame on that.
With my gorilla hands. I don't know if I could deal with that.
Well, that's the theory with the tablet, is you have to have something to hold it on. But
all right, especially if you're marketing it to kids and first-line workers who you're going to assume are using it as a tablet with most likely without a keyboard. I think you kind of have to have big bezels for that.
But don't we have pretty good stray signal palm rejection kind of stuff now?
And Apple is almost certainly going to release an iPad Pro that has
that's the thing.
Extremely small bezels any day now.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing is the thing people are going to compare it against is going to have very little bezels.
Yep.
Mary Jo, you and I appear to be in the same room.
I know, it's really cool.
There is
really
kind of a
cool.
weird.
It's so cool because you both have bookshelves behind you.
If I swivel this over, am I going to see Mary Jo?
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's very nice. It's very nice. It's very good. There's a unity to this that I really like. So, Mary Jo, lappable? I know that's a concern. Not really, right? It's too floppy.
Not really. So, it's funny. Every time I bring this up, somebody's like, well, if I was sitting back on my couch watching TV, it could be lappable. I'm like, yeah. If I cross my legs and sit in a full lotus position, maybe it's lappable too.
I've tried. It's too. It falls through the hole in your legs when you cross your legs. It's so small.
It's just a speck too long if you're sitting upright in a chair at a 90-degree angle or somewhere close to that. It's just a little bit too long.
When you're in your house,
I know my legs are not short.
Do you have I use computers in front of the TV a lot. But we have these little coffee table type things that we use,
like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
it's fine.
And I love the fact that this, like all the new Surfaces, is infinite tilt on the back.
That is great. All the angles
you can get any angle
that you can get.
Yeah.
Yep. That's really nice.
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
And you know what? Even though this isn't lappable, what's really different to me from other Surfaces is how much better weighted this is. And I noticed that when I had just a few brief minutes of hands-on with it, but the other ones are so tippy because they're not weighted correctly for whatever reason. But this one, like you can hold it in one hand or even just like, and it's not like,
Unfortunately, though, the way they made that happen was they left out the battery.
Yeah, I know. The battery's tiny, right?
That's the problem.
Okay, what are you getting for battery life, Leo?
I haven't
in
really
real world?
Taxed it, but I think it's about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
that's
me too.
Well, with it not being 1998, that's actually not very good.
Really? You would want more? You could put an ARM chip in here and it'd go all day.
That's the thing. How much battery life does an iPad Pro get? 9-10 hours?
10 hours, yeah. Solid. Yeah. A solid 10.
I mean, that's just that's a problem.
Right. So Microsoft says 9 hours. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, I always get half of what they say. So I was guessing 4 to 5, and that's what I'm getting, 4 to 5. And okay, what am I running to get 4 to 5? TweetDeck, Skype, Notepad, of course. I'm really not doing much, and I'm getting 4 to 5.
Yeah.
And I've seen other people say they're getting 7, 8. I'm like, okay,
if you're
I don't know how you're
watching videos. No, if you just watch,
people are saying that.
If you just watch Netflix on there, you'd probably get 6 or 7 or 8, maybe.
Right. But I mean, if you're doing real things and switching back and forth, and
it's a nice screen. I really like the screen.
It is a nice screen. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting that they couldn't get more battery in here since the iPad does. But the iPad is also using a custom ARM-based chip that's really designed to low power. I don't know what this Pentium Gold is, but
all right. So here's the thing. So, but the iPad is a perfect combination of performance and battery life and excellent screen.
Yep.
It's a high bar for Microsoft. I'm sorry.
We know that. Yes.
Yeah.
It is a very high bar, and they priced it the same. If somebody needs, the advantage it has, the iPad can only get stuff from the Apple Store. This is a real Windows machine. Did you turn off S right away, Mary Jo?
No, I'm still running Windows 10 S.
I guess, why not? I mean, you're not going to use Chrome.
Because you want to use Chrome.
No, I want to run this the way that I think many people who go get this, or their schools buy it for them, or their companies buy it for them, they're going to run 10S. They're not going to be running Pro.
That's true. I really don't. I think the very first thing any school or business is going to do is switch it right out of 10S, because the apps they need to run do not run in S. Yes.
Well, if they have specialized apps, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. If they do have some specialized app, they will have to do that. But I'm so far running it in 10S. And one of the reasons I wanted to do that was to compare Edge. And remember, when I was running the HP MVX2 with Edge, I was like, I don't know what's wrong with Edge on ARM, but it's terrible. This is better than that.
Yeah, this is pretty usable. Yeah.
See, that to me is the most interesting comparison here, is the Surface Go compared to the HP MVX2 across the board, all kinds of different things. I don't know if you saw this, and I think this is since the last Windows Weekly, but when I came out to Sweden, I intended to test browsers, other browsers, alternate browsers and everything. And in the course of syncing passwords and favorites and things between different browsers, I started using Microsoft Edge in RS5. And I got to say, I do feel like this is the version where they kind of finally got it right. Like I could actually use this. And so that combination is actually very interesting all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not super fast, right? And
no, it's a little faster than the NV2, but
but man, I had such a bad experience with Edge on ARM. I was just like, wow, like what's wrong with that combination of things?
Well, there's the trade-off. If you go ARM, you can get all-day battery life, but bad performance. If you want,
if you go this one, you can get bad performance and no battery.
Yeah, it isn't great. It's not great performance. It's kind of NV2. What is the chat room saying that the Pentium Gold is essentially an underclocked Core M? Is that accurate? I mean, how do you characterize this?
I think, and it's a dual core.
Well, that's good.
Chip. It's not a quad core like the upper level.
Dual core is what we've been used to for a long time, and
dual core is fine for productivity tasks and so forth. You could make the argument that a dual core whatever would be fine in this PC for Word and Excel and web browsers and whatever. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's a Pentium, and it's kind of weird. It's just kind of an unknown. When you hear Pentium Gold, the first reaction should be, what is that? It's something that should not be familiar to anybody.
It's meaningless. Is it Atom? It's not quite Atom. It's more.
No, remember the Surface 3 was an Atom, right? It was an Atom.
I think it was.
And it was garbage. It was terrible performance. This is a step or two up from that. I want to say the raw processing performance is something like 2x. The graphics performance of this system is better than that of Surface Pro 3, supposedly. Your systems both are optimal in that you have the SSD, which will really help, and more RAM, which will really help as well.
Yep.
But I mean,
as far as like productivity tasks, like you're saying, I mean, everything works fine if you want to just do basic things, like I'm not seeing lagging and typing or anything like that. And that's what a lot of people will do with this, right? They'll do basic Word, Excel, maybe PowerPoint.
I feel like there's this matrix that you kind of go through with every decision, and you just want to talk about tech products. Like, what are the things that are most important to you? There's going to be the performance issue, the battery life, just the portability of it. The fact that you might be able to slip this into a purse or something, or if you have
and can,
which is incredible, right? I mean, or as a man, I'm not going to wear I'm not going to bring like a man purse because I'm not European, but the ability to carry less, to have a smaller bag, to have a lighter bag, is huge. It's the dream. Back from the days of the libretto, remember the little tiny PCs? I've always dreamed of being able to do this thing. My freakish physical form prevents it. But, I would love to have a smaller computer. But it depends on what's important to you.
It does.
I think that I have not used it yet. But I've used it, but I've not, I don't have it for review yet. But I think the level of performance would be perfectly acceptable. It sounds like it's just north of the Qualcomm stuff right now. If the battery life was a little bit better. You don't have to hit 22 hours or 20 hours.
Right.
Could you hit 8 hours?
Right.
This conversation would be very different if that was part of the matrix. And it's not. Unfortunately, the battery life sounds like it's pretty terrible.
So on the charging side, there's a couple of good pieces of news, which is one, the Surface connector is way lighter and smaller. So I'm like, okay, I would actually throw that in my bag and not feel like I'm lugging this super heavy.
Yeah. And the prong is on the little brick, right? Like it was on Surface 3. Yeah. So it's a smaller thing. It's like you've got the one length of cable, not the two.
Right.
Right. Which is actually, can be convenient. What about fast charging? Have either of you noticed how quickly it takes to charge it back to strength?
It's quick. I think I had it down pretty close to 0, and I think it came back in like 45 minutes all the way.
It's astonishing.
Yeah.
That helps.
Really fast.
That really helps.
Yeah, it does. It does, because then when it's out of battery, you're like, oh.
Do you have to use the Surface prong? whatever.
No, you can use USB-C. I tried that too.
And does it fast charge on USB-C?
My understanding of that one is if it is above a certain wattage level, it will, and I think that might be 65. It's something like that.
I used my NV charger to charge it.
Yeah,
that's the thing is I have Type-C everywhere, and I'm rarely going to. I don't even have the Surface charger with me.
I actually forgot. We went on a side trip, and I forgot the charger for my laptop, and I was like, "Oh God, what am I going to do?" It's the first time I've ever done this on a trip, but my wife has a USB-C, so it was fine.
I love USB-C. Thank God Microsoft finally saw the light there.